All right, what's up, everybody? Here with Tony's MMA class. About ready to have my sit down with UFC Hall of Famer and 1999 heavyweight champion Boss Rutten. Just waiting for him to hop on here, and we're gonna get it going. Oh man, I'm so sore from working out again. I just started lifting more regular, and I'm miserable right now. Back, and it's got the old man syndrome sneaking in. Should be any minute, and hopefully some of you come on live. And I hope I can. I hope this saves. I'm not sure. I mean, but hopefully it saves. Hope y'all are doing well and staying safe and active, away from all the COVID and all the shenanigans going on. Here we go.
Tony,
Morning. How are you?
doing good. Let me turn the volume up a little bit. Boom. How you doing?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's a little. Just before it was much better. Now it's. I can hear you, but not as clear as it was before. It's like it's muffled a little bit.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, that sounds already good.
A little better?
Yeah, I can understand. That's good. That's good. All right.
How you been?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I'm sitting outside, so that's why I light up on the cigar.
Yeah, I'm Thousand Oaks. I miss it over there. The weather's much nicer than it is here in Bakersfield.
Oh, that is so crazy. It's a big difference already?
Yeah, it's nice today. It's like 70 degrees, but I like the cold weather.
Yeah. Yeah, cold is nice. It's charm. You know, I live for 30 years in Holland, crazy freaking everything. So now to be in the heat, it's kind of cool. I love it.
Yeah, my wife and I, it's kind of annoying being able to walk outside when it's 70 degrees on Christmas Day, wearing shorts and should be
Yeah.
Jackets and pants, but yeah. So how's everything been with your family and everything with all this pandemic and stuff?
Everything is good. Unfortunately, the gym has to be closed, so that's too bad. But hey, we'll live by the rules. We'll do what it was. If I like him or not, it doesn't really matter what I like or not, right? So you got to do it. So we just comply, and it's okay. My O2 trainer, the long training device I invented, that got a big boost. So we're doing some really good things with that now. Pulmonologists are actually buying it for the people with COPD and asthma. So I mean, it's doing much more than I anticipated in the beginning. I mean, it's like the gift that keeps on giving right now. PTSD, anxiety. I mean, back problems. Dude, that perfect breathing will align your spine. I had no clue. Do you know that even your diaphragm, it's massaging your intestines? That's why your diaphragm is like hanging like this. It's something that hangs down and it expands to a frisbee. So if you're looking from the front, it gets wider. That's how they open up the chest, and that's how you can breathe. All these things I never knew, but now people are helped by it. They're sending me, oh man, my back problems are good. I go, are you serious? I know just one, but more people, singers, horn instrument players, everybody who knows the blow instrument, so to say. I mean, more power. I have a review from the Eagle, the sax player from the Eagles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, longer, stronger notes. So, it's cool. It's cool to figure it out.
Yeah, that's an awesome device. I still need to get one. I'm way behind the curve with that. I still need to get one. Because as a matter of fact, over the last 6-7 months, I've been having a lot of breathing problems. And the doctors can't figure out what the hell's going on. So I'll get really, really short of breath sometimes, and then it goes away, but then it comes back. So I've gotten all these tests done, like a barium swallow test. Have you ever heard of that? Where you drink the barium swallow test?
No.
Drink some liquid, and then they take an x-ray of your lungs to see what's going on. And
And what was it? Did they see it?
No, they can't find out what's going on, and
Maybe, most of the time it's just the breathing. Only 5 people in 100 breathe the correct way, Tony. So the
right.
chances that you're breathing wrong is good. I was breathing wrong. I posted, I have this private Facebook page, Bas Rutten's O2 Bootcamp, where people, O2 trainers, users are actually posting. And I posted a video there of myself in 1996 for a world title against Funaki. And in the break, you know, I dropped them and get an ink out. And you see me like, I'm breathing literally like this. And in the early days, I always, I ran out of stamina because my breathing simply couldn't pick it up anymore. It was, you know, that's how I would run out of stamina. I never ran out of stamina, well, all the way in the beginning, but not in Pancos and in MMA because I made sure it was great. But that is completely gone with me right now. Now I come out of a super hard route. I'm literally like, it's night and day. So I can only imagine if I would have had that thing all the way back when I was still competing, I would have done maybe even better, you know, because stamina is everything in fighting. I mean, you can have all the skills in the world. If you don't have the stamina to back it up, you're going to have a problem.
Right, and especially now with COVID, since it's all, you know, respiratory issue with COVID going on. I'm sure a lot more people want to get it now too. The O2 trainer.
Yeah, no, it's going really well, and that's why I think he got a big boost with the COVID because his teachers. We have this guy, a friend of mine, who just posted about it. He has what is it? They cut over 60% of his lungs away when he was 17, lung cancer. You know, had only one lung, and that's only he's got like 30% less. And he said that his breathing was really bad. I mean, in a week, he goes, dude, this is crazy. My breathing is much better. I say, yeah, you were just breathing the wrong way. You know, once you start breathing correctly, using your diaphragm, you have to understand that if you breathe like this, 4 to 6 of those breaths are the same as one belly breath. You know, that's a big difference. You know, so, and let's take the lowest number. Let's take 4 times instead of 1 time using your belly. So your stamina, if you can put more oxygen. If you look at lung doctors, and we have a really good one on the website, I just talked about it on the Facebook page. He's a pulmonologist who actually gets the O2 trainer from insurance paid back. So, and he was talking about all the diseases in lungs are the top part because everybody breathes using their chest. And that's where all the disease is. But once you start focusing on the bottom and your core, which needs more pounds of pressure, like 8 to 12 pounds of pressure to open this up. But once you're used to it, yeah, now you're training your breathing muscles. And once that happens, yeah, you start breathing completely different. I have people who do one session with the O2 trainer. It takes under 4 minutes a day. And the same day, they break their running time. And they go, I know this is impossible. I say, it's not impossible. It means that you were breathing wrong. And because the O2 trainer, it forces you to use your core. So then when you realize you use your core and you start running like that, yeah, your stamina suddenly goes up just by breathing correctly.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. I remember, I don't remember what I was watching, but I remember you talking about that a lot of us breathe wrong.
Yep.
That kind of stuck with me. And then I started watching myself when I would breathe to see if it was my belly or my chest, you know, doing the breathing. And, but you're right, we take the wrong breaths and that makes a difference, especially in training.
And everything, and anxiety, PTSD, all that stuff, that's all breathing. You know, people start breathing shallow. They only breathe through the chest. You know, if they would use the core and start opening up, that's why I got so many great reviews for people with anxiety as well.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about. Was mental health and anxiety. Was a lot of friends of mine that used to be fighters, but they're not fighting anymore. They're struggling, you know, with depression and anxiety because they're not fighting anymore. So they don't have that, you know, nothing to look forward to, you know.
Yep.
Gone, that high of competing gone.
Yep.
So they asked me to touch on that. What are some things that have helped you with that, with depression, anxiety, and
well, you have to figure something else out, you know. Like if you look at Pat Miletich, for instance, he chases tornadoes. You know, that's his thing to get that high. But you need something, and especially because we're guys, you know, we want all or in. It's all in or not, you know. So everything is a lot, and that is really great for training because I can push myself really hard. But it's also really bad for drinking and drugs and all that stuff because I get a super personality. You know, that's why you won't see me gamble or something because I know I'm going to win and I know I'm going to lose my house. That's just how it goes. That's how I'm wired. So as long as you notice those things and you replace it, well, what happened with me is also, maybe it happened with drinking, you know, after my last fight, I started doing, and suddenly the drinking got more and more and more. And you start seeing it when it goes wrong. It starts normally at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. And once that time becomes 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and suddenly you start drinking at noon, You know, you go like, this is not a good thing. And then they offered me another fight in 2006. That was 7 years after I didn't compete. So I'll take it. My wife goes, what are you doing? I said, I have to stop drinking if I do this. You know, it's going to force me to stop drinking. So yeah, let's take the fight. And that's what I did, you know, and that's how I overcame it. But, you know, then immediately I know, okay, I need something new now. I need something that I really enjoy doing. And thankfully, I've always been very busy. You know, they gave me good jobs being on TV. You know, it's a rush. You can say, you know, it's everything is interesting, and thankfully that kind of helped me. But training, you need to keep on training because a lot of these guys are super healthy, and once the whole the career is gone, somehow they become the opposite. You know, they start drinking or doing drugs or eating bad. I mean, you see them, you look at them, and dude, you don't look healthy anymore. You know, you have to pick that up. For me, that was my last fight. That's why I did that. That's also when the first time in my life that I started eating healthy, actually, because I could fight on pizza. Why would I? You know, I mean, I was just always this incredible body. But now I realized I was 42 years old, my last fight. Let's focus on some food. And then the gains that I made, I mean, I felt very strong for that fight. I had a lot of injuries, you know, and that's why I couldn't continue anymore. But physically, I felt the best. So once I came out of there, then the focus was only on living healthy, you know. And living healthy is like, if I don't work out, I get depressed. If my night gets tight, depressed. If I eat wrong things, you know, and suddenly it affects your stomach. It feels like you're getting depressed, and guess what? That will trigger you to be depressed. So you need to live healthy, and if you live healthy and you eat healthy and do all that stuff, I don't think the depression will be that prominent. I think you can push it away.
Right. I mean, it's definitely a problem for some people. Like you said, you know, you can kind of feel it creeping up sometimes when you're starting to get depressed. You know, an example is with me, if I don't train for like a week, 2 weeks, my wife will go, you're being an asshole, get out of the house and go
Yep.
train. And then I go train and I feel better. I mean, it's crazy what that does, but
It does everything. Like yesterday training, I hate power training, but I have to do it with my stupid arm. Look, I got this all from atrophy from neck surgeries. So I need to keep firing those muscles because otherwise they're completely going to be gone, you know? So, and I really don't like it. But every time when I'm halfway in, I'm kind of enjoying it a lot because then everything starts opening up. I start feeling really good, you know? It's just weightlifting, which I normally despise. I like stamina, working on my more.
I just started lifting last week after years of not lifting. So everything hurts, whether
Yeah.
on my back, my chest, and I'm miserable.
That's when I do it. When I start, I everything, do one set of each. That's the only thing I'm doing because I know if I do 4 sets of each, I can't come out of the bed the next day. So I just do one set of each, and then the next day I do the same thing, and then a day later I do 2 times. And once I go to 3, then I can go all the way. Then it doesn't matter anymore. But take your time. Yeah, that's the thing.
But,
As well. We're
okay,
not like we used to anymore.
the mental part, we know at one point we could do crazier things, but not anymore. Because I used to be able to bench 220, 225, 30 reps whenever I wanted. Now that's like one rep,
Yeah.
1 rep.
But you know, you also realize that you don't need it.
But
You know, so it's keep the muscles busy. We don't need to be strong. All that pressure that we put on ourselves, pushing, 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 pushing. It's very hard for me not to push something. Like I cannot hit a bag. I cannot jab a bag. I can't do that. I have to hit it hard. Every punch needs to be hard. Every kick needs to be hard. That is still something I can't turn off. What I can do is start with 1 minute rounds. And then I go to 1.5 minute rounds. I go to 2 minute rounds. So sure enough, I'm in 5 minute rounds. But I got to build that up. Because if I fully go into right away, I do like 8 5 minute rounds, full blast on the back. Yeah, I'm not going to sustain that. I'm just going to be a week later, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, I'm burnt out. You know, but if I gradually increase every time, and that's what I do with everything right now. And literally with everything. Like I want to use less sugar in the coffee. Okay, I start taking 10% less. And next week I take 10% off, and I like that. And I do this with everything. With cheese on a pizza, I ask for, can you put half the amount on? Oh, does it bother you? No, but it's simply not that good for you. Because half the cheese, it's really good. It's still really good. We're so programmed that more is better, but
yeah,
it's
more and
sometimes
more.
less better.
Yeah, it's a very gluttonous society. That's something I tell my wife all the time. It's like everybody's more food, more this, more that. You know, that's the society that we're in. But Yeah, also, when you were doing your workouts with Dana, when all this was going on, those were things that I look forward to every day too, because I do the videos, the Boss Rutten boxing workout, the kickbox. I've been doing those for years, so much that I can do them without listening to it, because I have them all memorized.
Yeah, you want to be in the shock because everybody's asking me, why did you never make more videos? Dude, they're already there for 7 years. Bodyactionsystem.com, 18 new workouts. You complete a boxing workout, 10 rounds, but it's a whole different animal that you just had. I mean, now we get straight to the body, spleen shots, elbows. I mean, everything is in there. The combinations are freaking insane. I have trouble with it if I want to do it. I'll hit them, but I'll make mistakes because it goes all over the place. So, and the good thing is 7 5-minute rounds or 10 3-minute rounds. They come in those workouts. If you go to level 3, don't buy level 3. I would literally say, okay, if you come from the old workout, you can probably go to level number 2, but there's a whole bunch of new commands. And once you understand that, then go to level 3, because otherwise you're going to be like, holy crap. You're going to look like a person who comes to my class for the first time.
Right.
When I do the workout, left, right body, left hook, right straight, left hook, right body, left hook, cross hook, cross hook, cross lever, 4 on the Q, 2 on an A, 3 on the B. And people going, brrr, and the news people are like standing like, what is going on, what's going on? But everybody's doing it. I said, dude, everybody had that problem. It's just doing it over and over again. You will be able to do it as well. But that's the intensity it goes. It's fast.
No, I love those workouts. I mean, I still do shit. 3 days ago, I did the Boss Rutten Thai boxing workout. And then in between the rounds, I'll do a kettlebell in between, stuff like that. And I make up just random shit, like maybe it'll be sit-ups for a minute, and then and continue. But I didn't even know that you have those other ones.
Yeah, no, good. And what you're doing is really great. The breaks, fill them up with power training exercises. Catch your breath while pushing up. Catch your breath like that, Guess what? It will be hard in the beginning, but your body gets used to it. Like I used to do 13 of those rounds. I would do 3 rounds of boxing to warm up. 3 rounds of Thai boxing to warm up. Then I would do 7 rounds of mixed martial arts with the sprawls. And all the breaks, I would do 30 seconds push-ups, 30 seconds bicep pulls with rubber bands that I would bring. And then the last round, I do boxing. But with the boxing, I add 2 punches to every combination. So if I say 2, that will be a 2, and I add a reload across the hook. And 3, 1, 2, 3, last punch, reload, and the hook cross. But if you start changing the angles on those, like a liver shot right straight or a left hook and a right straight to the body, then it becomes a workout that you don't have half a second, you don't have a quarter of a second rest. Because while you're throwing the new combination, you already hear it. You got to keep on going. I did 13 rounds, and every minute I would do push-ups and I would do biceps, and I just plugged through it because I was used to it. All my students, we do 5 rounds of the 3 minutes of mixed martial arts with the sprawls, and our minute rounds they're filled up. The break is filled up with kettlebell swings or push-ups, and they all do it. But they couldn't do it in the beginning. Nobody can do it in the beginning. It's a really hard workout, but you get used to it. Just push yourself every time a little bit more.
Yeah, and just adding those little things and then it keeps your mind not mentally prepared, so it kind of stays fresh the whole time. So it stays a good workout. Yeah, and then I had some people asking me, about addictions from fighting because they started developing, painkiller addiction. Doctors giving them for legitimate injuries that turn into a real problem. That happened to me too, because I messed my back up big time. I mean, basically every disc from the top to bottom is herniated, but the bottom 2 are just really, really bad. So that happened with me too. They just start throwing you all these pills, and then eventually they want to cut you off just like that. And then
I had it in 2008. I stopped with everything, but I was in the same boat. It was after the injuries started. And then suddenly I realized very soon, though, within a year, I realized, oh shit, I'm an addict. So I want to stop it. So I start going to Suboxone, which is a stuff like a methadone, but they call it the rich man's methadone because you can get it from the doctor prescribed. And that stuff is horrible stuff as well. They should have told me that I can only use that for 10 days or 2 weeks. And you have to wean off of it. But my doctor said, no, it will still help with the pain. You can stay on this because this, and you can actually take it less. And that's true. He's right with that. You don't need like pain pills every time more and more and more. This you can stay at the same level, and slowly but surely you can build it up. But you get used to it. You know, and the same crap. It doesn't help for the pain. And I had double vision. I fell asleep behind the wheel. I mean, 3-4 times a day. I had to hit myself in the face. Everything is a double vision. Peeing took a freaking hour. I started making a list with all the bad things I had and the good things. And I don't think there were good things. So I said, okay, I'm going to have to stop. That was harder to come off than OxyContin. That is really hard. And I had it 3.5 years. My testosterone level, Tony, was 5. People go 500.
Yeah, I've
5.
heard.
The doctor's never seen it.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. But, you know, slowly but surely, I kicked it in 11 days. And it was a nightmare, 11 days. But you see people, when their testosterone level goes below 100, they can't come out of bed anymore. The doctor looks at me with another doctor. They say, how can you get out of bed? I said, what do you mean? He says, Buzz, I've never seen a testosterone level like that. I've never seen it in my life. You know, I said, well, it's hard in the morning. I got to force myself, drink coffee, and then, you know, I just do it. That's what I do. I just force myself to get up. He said, oh, you're going to feel much better. So, yeah, horrible stuff. If people are listening, and they are on Suboxone, I'm telling you, it will only go worse. You got to stop it. And it's going to be, 11 days was the record. The guy said he'd never seen anything like that before. And I'm very good, man. That's once I go for something, I'll go. I drink a lot of waters, a lot of vitamins, a lot of proteins, whatever I need for my body, and every day working out. And trust me, you do not want to work out. You do not. You're completely crushed.
Yeah, I went through it, you know, with the, you know, the diarrhea, the body aches, the feeling like you're going to puke every couple seconds. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, it took, and I've told people, I said, it takes like a week and a half to get over the feeling sick part. But then it's like 2 weeks to get over that first week of feeling shitty, you know, because you got to start eating regular, start working out again. You haven't really slept in weeks once you're going through all that. I mean, it's terrible.
A thing that I thought lately, and I don't want to promote anything here, you know, and because I used to go to sleep. I use a very light variant of THC. I'm talking 30% THC, 70% CBD, and I only take it in the evening. I have a cartridge. I do 4 months with one cartridge. So that's how much I smoke. So I almost don't smoke anything. I do believe, though, if I would have been, because I never smoked weed, even though I'm from Holland, you know, you don't, because it's legal. You don't want to do it. It's really weird. Plus, it's not me. I want to be up instead of going down. But I do believe, though, if you can use this to kick a painkiller, I think it would be a great way to that edgy feeling, that horrible feeling you have in your stomach, to just smoke a little bit of weed. And especially since it's legal right now, I would do that. Now, the trick is, of course, because if you're already addicted to those pills, well, you probably have an addicting personality. You got to watch out that you don't shoot into that thing. But to me, weed bringing me down is not, like, I cannot do it during the day. There's no way. My mind stops. I can't think. I can't work out. I don't want to do anything. So I never use it during the day. I only use it once I lay in bed. And like I said, it's a really light version.
Me either. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that likes to smoke during the day, but occasionally in the evenings. My neighbor's a funny guy. He's always offering me like kush weed every evening. And I'm like, sure, you know, so probably this week he's going to give me some. But yeah, I never smoke in the day either. You know, it's.
Yeah, and there's other people who thrive. I know guys, before they go on air, they smoke because it makes their mind better. Like, I'm the opposite. I have a 3-second memory. Dude, people start messing with me. They start asking me 2 questions in one, and I don't remember the second question. It's hilarious.
I remember one time a friend of mine gave me some, and I smoked a bunch. And I remember I was just standing outside his house, staring at a bush for like 3 minutes. And he goes, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I was just staring like an idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, not in the day for me. Evenings help me sleep. You know, I do that sometimes.
Yeah. I think anything, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be something physically, it can be anger, it can be training, it can be everything. Too much is not good. You know, whatever overcomes a man, to that he's enslaved. That's what they say, right? If you decide to smoke all day and push your phones away, you know, and that's your life, hey, so be it. I'm the last person who's going to judge. But I just think it's not a good thing because you're a slave to something. Because if you can't do it, I can easily stop for a day. Oh yeah, so you can easily stop for 30 days then too. Because everybody can stop for a day, right? That's a very easy thing. For a week, you know? No, being in control. What is more important than being in control? Whether it's food, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Any vice out there, it can be a sex addiction. It can be anything. You know, just being in control, listening to that voice that every time tells you, take it, take it, take it, take it. That's making you weaker and weaker and weaker. And this, what I just say, works with everything, like I said. You know, again, if you don't want to drink the coffee. Oh, I had a guy who said, if there's one thing that you cannot go without, you know, what would it be? You know what he said? Coffee. Oh, I would die if I don't have coffee in the morning. I go, this is the world we live in? What if a war breaks out, dude? You cannot, and he was serious. He was say, a coffee, you cannot do without a coffee. That's pretty pathetic. You know, you should toughen up. Go train a little bit and do something. It's insanity.
It's crazy. Yeah, the way people are today, it blows me away. It's like I said, it's a very gluttonous. People are very gluttonous in today's time. It's ridiculous.
They have no willpower. There is no willpower. They feed everything with no willpower. Now is also what's going on with the shutdown. People are getting used to that. That is like not working, you know, and now they don't want to start working anymore. This is going to be a problem, you know, because they become weaker and weaker and weaker every single day.
A friend of mine, before COVID started, she has a good job, but she says that she makes more money now just staying home than she did at work. She goes, so I don't want to go back to work. And I go, well, that's kind of a shitty way of looking at it. Because, I mean, this isn't going to stay like this forever. Eventually, we're all going to have to go back and to our regular, I mean, hopefully.
Well, she makes more money and she has a different kind of job, you know. It's only, hopefully, again, does it not consume you all day long, and not working out, and you start forgetting those things. Just keep everything in balance. You know, that's the thing. If you work hard, they say work hard, play hard. No, you should work hard, and then you need a break to rest so you can go back to working hard. That's what it should be. It shouldn't be work hard, play hard. You know, go and listen, this comes from me. I'm easy now. 5 years old. I've been a complete psycho. You know that. You know, so it's very easy now at 55 to say, oh, you got to tone down. I'm not talking to the 36-year-old boss rutten here because that was a complete maniac. You know, but you get older and you get wiser. You go like, oh my God, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't do that anymore. I know that. You know, all these little things, I would stop. You know, the partying, yeah, it's great to party every single day. You don't need it anymore. You know, you can clean up your life much, much more. But yeah, that's in hindsight, 2020. Everything is easier, right?
Yeah, I remember training with you at Amir Ranavardi, Mark the Bear Smith at the Simi. That's when I first met you, actually, at the Simi Valley Boxing Gym. This was maybe back in 2002, 2001.
Yeah, a long time ago.
But I remember that, you know, I just started getting into MMA then, and I hadn't even fought yet. But I remember you sparring with Amir, and you were giving him head kicks, and I was just like, he was just getting, boom, head kick after head kick you were giving to him.
Yeah, but I pulled him. You know, that's the thing. You know, it's like for people who are watching, they always think we're complete psychopaths. We beat the crap out of each other. First time I saw Amir, like this is the thing that I always use in my fighting style. My fighting style is wide open, right? And then everybody says, oh, you're an open target. I said, well, every fighter that I know that fights like this has never went down to the body. Well, it's so easy. Why don't you hit me to the body if I'm wide open? But the powers you're going to get in return from it, left straight punches, opening with hooks, blocking kicks, power leg kicks, left kicks. You know, if you're an orthodox fighter, everything becomes better and stronger. You're only an open target. But guess what? You get used to that. You know, the example I use is the first time I picked up Amir Peretz. He was sparring at the Krav Maga dojo. And he's a great martial artist. He was one of my sparring partners. And he was sparring with kicks to the balls. And these guys were going for it. And I go, oh, that's interesting. That's next level stuff, right? And guess what? Nobody got kicked in the balls. You know why nobody got kicked in the balls? Because you don't like to get kicked in the balls. Right. So your defense automatically becomes better. That's what it is, and that's how it works. And that's the same with an open target. I know I'm an open target. You know, I block with my elbows. It's all everything. You will find a way to stop that. But all the powers that you gain in return from it, while they outweigh, I don't think there's one bad thing about my stance. Not one. Look at Mike Tyson, how hard he hits. Why do you think he can generate that much power? Because of his stance. Ramon Dekkers, unfortunately passed away, most powerful strike boxer ever lived, in my book, pound for pound. Also, more of a square stance. A square stance will make everything more better.
Yeah, I agree. That's, I mean, I teach my students a lot in that stance, but I mean, a lot of that comes from you. I mean, I always say that you were one of my most influential striking coaches I ever had, and I still use a lot of the techniques that you taught me to my students today and to my curriculum. One of my favorite ones, you know, the long left palm hook that opens up the liver kick?
Kick, yeah.
I dropped so many people with that.
Oh.
I mean, it's unending how many people. A lot of UFC guys, I won't say their names, but I've gotten them in training with it. And
listen, I told this to Matt Lindland. He's a wrestler. He's not even a striker. And the next time I saw him, he goes, dude, this is so crazy. I dropped so many people in training with that crazy left hook liver kick. I go, right? It's a freaking awesome thing. You can also do it. I do the 1-2 with the right low kick. Or if you hit high on the head with the 1-2, so to bring the hands up and a right kick to the body as well. You can do it the other way around. And then you can actually even generate more power, especially if you do it correctly over and over on the back. That's what I tell people. I mean, it's as hard as a normal kick would be. It's just
right.
with the 1-2.
That's a good one. And reloads. I mean, you do a lot of reloads. I teach a lot of reloads too, because you know, it came from you from way back in the day. So, cause I remember he was kind of a dipshit guy. You know, one of my classes, he was reloads don't work, and then I hit him 3 times with the left hook the same side, and then it changed his mind. It opened his eyes that it does work. You know.
Well, I'm any opponent for Mike Tyson. What happened?
Right.
It's all reloads. Left uppercut, left hook, liver shot, pow, 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 boom. It's all over the place. And then changing the angle of the punch, it changes the punch itself. Left hook, left uppercut, and then a liver shot. I mean, left. And Tyson, dude, he can do it so fast. His upper body rotation is just...
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I try that in training, and I mean, there's no way that I could get myself to rotate that fast. I mean, it's not going to happen.
It's specimen. But, you know, you never seen it before, right? That's the one guy. I don't know any other boxer who moves like that. And at that age, did you see his last fight?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm super impressed with the guy. I was fortunate because I saw him a bunch of times working out. They invited me to watch the training. And, man, he's the scary dude still. I love that guy.
He's 53, right? He's 53?
Yeah, 52, I think. 52 or 53, yeah, around that age. But he looked really good, stamina-wise, everything-wise.
Yeah, and apparently they're going to do it again. I mean, that's what they're saying, right? They're going to do one more fight, him and Roy Jones.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I heard, that they were kind of setting it up so they can have one more. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear anything, so...
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it's crazy that he can still do that at his age. And but yeah, so I tell my students all the time, but yeah, I was actually wondering about that because I know you were doing parking lot training for a while, but I guess that shut down for you too now.
It's, you know, if I do that, it's 5 o'clock, it's dark, and we have no lights there. And you saw at the end when we did the parking lot training, you know, once the winter starts coming closer and closer, the last 10 minutes you couldn't see anything anymore because it was too dark. So a week later, yeah, now you're completely in the dark. Now, 5 o'clock, class starts at 6. So 6 o'clock, everything. Yeah, if you do that while you're doing it, you're to the side now.
Okay.
Yeah. You can only do that when you stop it and then redo it.
Well, how's that?
Well, you're straight. That's a good thing. It's straight up.
Okay, cool. Won't touch it. But yeah, I tell some of my students they wanted to go up there to hold on one second. Thing's not strong enough. I was trying to figure out my laptop, but I couldn't figure it out. Hold on. I got it. Cool.
Good.
But yeah, I wanted to go up there and take some students to train because they wanted to train with you. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if they're even having classes right now.
Yeah. No, there's no class right now. I see this guy writing cue to Benny Hill music. That's true. When you were doing it.
So listen,
The best that song.
but but yeah, you know, because yeah, I trained at your gym, and Talk for You was in 2006, I think, 2006 to 2008, because it was right before you got the new location.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, I learned a lot. You know, I told you that before. I don't know if you remember on the podcast that you called in, that my buddy's podcast that one time.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, I was always thankful to have the opportunity to teach at your gym, because I learned a lot. And my students uh, have learned a lot, but a lot of that comes from you. All the striking. And one of my students had his first MMA fight, and I never told anybody. I kind of kept under wraps, but he has Asperger's.
Okay.
Asperger's. So, but I trained him for his first fight. He won his first fight.
Nice.
Fight. So, but I mean, it was a lot of the stuff that you taught me that I taught him. So, I mean,
I appreciate that, man. Listen, people have no clue how obsessed I can be, So I truly believe this is the best stance that I have. And it's really the best because I break every little thing down. Physically, physic-wise, nobody can say it's the worst stance. It is the best stance. You can equally move forward, backwards, or to the side with a stance like that, which you cannot do if you stand in one line. You can move forward and backwards really well, but that's about it. To the side is harder. If you put 2 feet next to each other, it's really good for lateral movement, but it's not good for back and forward. Standing like we stand, that is exactly in the middle. And that's why you're able to equally move forward, backwards, and to the side. So, I just broke everything down and I go over and over. I will have an answer for everything. So I truly believe this is the best. I just came out with the dynamic striking, guys. It's probably going to be out this week.
okay.
Big course I came out for them. I mean, it's over 2 hours, and I go into every little detail and why I do all these little things and what is different with my style, why I don't pivot, and why I don't twist my hand. Well, I do it if it comes naturally, but all these little things,
Right.
and I break it down. And then once you break it down, you realize, shit, I've been listening to the wrong people.
That's something, because I remember, again, you talked about how it's not necessary to rotate, how some people like to rotate, but that's not necessary. And there's some people that just totally believe in you have to rotate. I don't rotate. I just do it like that.
You know who started this? Muhammad Ali. Watch his fight. See if he rotates. He jabs literally like this.
Right.
He doesn't turn him over. I almost thought that he said that on purpose, because if you tell people to rotate, what they do, they start doing it here. So before they punch, they already lift their elbow. They're telegraphing. Now, if that's why I say to people, if it comes at the end, let it do. Then it's okay. And that whole BS from, this you can put a snap in like that. I can do exactly the same as this. The biggest one I had, and it was from a famous fighter. He was watching my seminar, and he said, "Boss, you sold me. I'm going to do from now on your stand." He says, "I got one thing though." And he goes, "Explain to me." He said, "Look, if I do this, my jaw is protected." And I go like this. "Oh, you mean like this?" And I go, "That's what I mean. You just blindly believe it. You can do exactly the same. There's no difference. Look, if I twist my arm, there is no difference." That's just because they see the picture, somebody gives it to them, and that's their blueprint. They use that. I would go like, wait a minute, I can do this also without. I was the worst kid in class, in karate class. I remember the question, why do you have to, for a high block, why does this hand needs to be on the outside?
Right.
And the teacher didn't have an answer. And he looks at me and he says, and I love that about the teacher, because he says, "I don't have an answer, but I can tell you one thing, I will have an answer tomorrow." He says, "But it's a very good question. I never thought about it." And we found out it is because this is the hand that's going to block a potential knife attack, right? It needs to be protected by the other hand to bring it up. But the fact that I would ask that question and nobody ever asked that question, why was that? And that is what I do with every single thing that I do. In my fighting stance, in the submission game, why I hold this, why I hold the inside hand, there's all reasons for it. And like I said, but I'm obsessed about something. You have no clue. I mean, my whole house, my apartment was full with Post-its with combinations on it. There were 2 lines, shoulder width, throughout the whole apartment. I would always walk to every room on those lines, I'm doing it 24/7 a day. Only focus on footwork and focus, and having little cables hanging down with clothespins, with what is it? These little papers. I was just talking about sticky notes.
Right.
And and they would hand in the middle of those two lines, and they would start hitting those, you know. That's how I walk through my house. I would wake up in the middle of the night, my wife, because I would dream a submission, put her in the submission, and I would ask where it hurt and write it down. And the next day, and that happened a whole bunch of times. It's not a one-time thing, you know. During the day, honey, lean over. You know, I say, okay, you're going to be dizzy, or you feel your throat is hurting. And I'm dizzy. I say, see, it's a blood choke. Okay, so I got to remember this. But you know, I was so obsessed with it. I tried to make everything as best as I can, and I hope that people see that. You know, like my fighting style. For instance, I said this. That right now the high striking accuracy is Edison Silva, right? 60.2. Mine was 70.6. Is the highest ever recorded till this day. And actually, what one man can do, any man can. That's what I always say. What I can do, you can do. It's just my fighting style. You start fighting like I fight, you can probably rank it up even higher than I did. You know, so everybody can do it. So hopefully people are listening to it and actually are going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember I would watch you in Pancrase when I was in high school. Because I remember I had only done Taekwondo and kickboxing at the time before I saw you on Pancrase. And I used to get pissed off because I used to see all the strikers getting beat by these submission guys, and I was like, well, I guess everything I've been learning is bullshit, and I was hoodwinked because they're. But then a buddy of mine showed me your videos that you were actually kicking the crap out of the dudes, but you could actually submit. I'm like, well, wait a minute, striking is good as long as you know submissions also. Then that put me on the, you know, that I need to learn jiu-jitsu too. And that's actually how I started training at Beverly Hills Jiu-Jitsu. Back then, because I wanted to start learning jiu-jitsu.
Well, I lost my third time by submission. That was it for me. You know, I'm going to learn this game. Otherwise, I might become a champion, but maybe I lose it again a week later or a fight later because of a submission. So I need to learn this game. And then I didn't want to. And I started training with one guy, Leon. And we started training, and suddenly I fell in love with it. And then I became obsessed with it. And now I start doing it 2-3 times a day, every day, all day long. I never lost a fight anymore. That was my last loss. And my loss against Ken Shamrock all the way back. And then the last 22 fights, not a single loss. And also, after my last loss by submission, I won my next 8 fights by submission. 7 finishes and 1 with submission control. You see? And again, I always use it like, this is not me saying, oh, look at me, look at me. No, what I can do, you can do. You know, I'm not nothing special. Oh, you have talent. Yeah, I have some talent. I know guys with way more talent than I have. You know? And if you have less talent, well, God gives you that for a reason. You're going to have to work harder to get it. And those guys with less talent, you're going to have to fight. They're the worst guys to fight because they had to work harder to get there, and they don't want to give it away. You see, so it always balances out. It makes you stronger in other areas if you're not as talented as otherwise. Maybe you got way more stamina. How many times do you see a really good fighter, super technical, lose because of stamina? And the reason is, and I can tell you, he's so good that when he's at his gym, he just works circles around everybody. Nobody can do something to him. But then when the fighters suddenly don't fight like the people in his gym and they come forward, they start putting pressure on, now suddenly they run out of gas. You see what I mean? So there's always pluses and minuses. I think I was right in the middle. You know, enough talent, but not too much to make me not focus on stamina and all these things. So I still had to work really freaking hard. You know, if I learn a combination, I can do it 2,000 times on one combination. I'm obsessed. I will put a video there and I film myself, especially the first 100 times, because if I do it 100 times wrong, well, I'm going to have to undo that wrong thing I do. So in the beginning, you film yourself, and once you say, oh, this is it, then you just do over and over and over and over again. I just grind it in. And I did this with God knows how many combinations, but it's a lot of work. Oh, boss, you're so good with the movies and this. You have no clue what I do. I'm hours preparing, hours throwing it in. I'm mentally, I don't have a mind like freaking Mauro Ranello who reads something and that's it. He's got it. I'm going to have to really work hard for it, you know, but you don't see that. Right. You know, people don't see that, but I do it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's the repetition, you know, repetition correctly, like you're saying. A lot of fighters that even throwing basic punches and roundhouse kicks, they do them wrong, and they're professionals. Doing them, you know,
yep.
They kick, but they're cheating themselves by bending their body as they throw the round kick. You know what I mean? They're like, they bend their body and the kick goes like this. I see them kicking like that, and they've already had like 10 pro fights, and I'm like, no one taught you how to kick correctly. You know, it's all
Right. Well, you still see it. You still see people getting kicked in the balls, right? It's just bad technique. They don't know how to kick. If they open up the foot, watch it. Their foot, I bet you, if they kick with the left, their toes from the right foot will be pointing straight forward, and that's why they kick in the balls. They can't pull an angle on them. You know, it's just bad technique. These are professional fighters. They should know that, right? And they still do it. Come on, man. Work on that. You know, that should happen once, and that should never happen again. Tony, I gotta go really fast in a bit, buddy, because I'm going. I have a class in the 15 minutes. So I don't have too much time anymore. A couple of minutes.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, big time. Yeah, glad you took the time to do this. And, do you have any idea when you're going to open up the gym? Do you know?
No clue. We're just waiting. I saw Potty posting. He says, I'm not afraid, that Bruce Lee quote. I'm not afraid of the guy who knows 1,000 kicks. I'm afraid of the guy who knows one kick, but did it 1,000 times. And that's exactly it. I just saw that posting here on the bottom. Yeah, and true. A lot of people also don't know what the calf kick. There's a lot of things. My stance actually will take care of that, because my foot is a little bit outside. So if they kick a calf, they're going to kick the shin instead of the calf. So that's going to hurt them. But yeah, I hope we're going to open soon. I have no clue. Ventura County right here. We're a little easier than LA County. So hopefully they allow us within a few weeks to open up again.
Are they doing it by like tiers, like the color tiers? Are they doing it that way there?
I have no clue.
Because over here they call it purple, so that's kind of like.
I'm so sick of everything. I don't even watch it anymore. I can't go to sleep. I can see people going out of the way to start spitting anger out on whatever party you are. I go, dude, get up with your life, dude.
Yeah, that's
your voice is not going to do anything. My voice is not going to do anything. Nobody's voice is going to do anything. And they won't change their mind. I won't change their mind. Why even fight? Let it go, man. We'll see how this plays out. I'm good with everything, but I'm not following it anymore. I'm getting sick of it.
No, I was heavy duty into posting some anger when all this stuff was going on, but I stopped because it's like you just said, if you're a dipshit, you're just going to stay a dipshit, so why argue with those people?
But nobody's going to change.
No.
It's like your favorite color is blue and mine is green, I said, no, you can't do that. It needs to be green because mine is green. That's the same conversation. It's your opinion, my opinion. You're not going to change it. I'm not going to change it. Because we all have our answers back already that everybody says the same. Nobody's really in the middle. And listen, both sides has no clue what really goes on. There's a lot of lying on the left, a lot of lying on the right. I can't figure it out until I know 100% positively. That's when I would say something, because otherwise I bit myself in my butt a whole bunch of times, like thinking that a friend of mine was wrong and then he was right, because I didn't double check. And I said, okay, that is something I never want to have anymore. So until I make a comment, I want to be 100% certain, because otherwise it can always be wrong. We don't know.
Right. It's very true. But yeah, I know you have a busy day, and thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. And again, I want to thank you for the wealth of knowledge with striking. Most of it came from you, the striking that I teach. Other things too, but I use a lot of what you taught me with my students, and they do good. They win. So I know it works.
Very cool, man. Always good to hear, Tony. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man. And be well. And hope I can see you soon over there.
Hopefully it opens up soon. You got to come to the gym.
Definitely. All right, man. Take care. Have a good day.
Bye. Take care. Bye-bye.